Hi YouTube, today is May 23rd, 2016, and I'm dealing with the question, how to deal with the truth. You know the truth, you know it's a farm, you know that kids are going missing, you know people going missing, you know it's brutal, Illuminati are out there, there are feelings about them, it's a messy place. On the surface, everything nice and smooth, but there is this bad vibe around the whole thing. So, you penetrated somehow into the truth, you investigated it, and you know it, it's for real. And it's heavy. So now you have to live with it. How to do it. Guys, back in the day when I started with this, in 2006, it was April, I just came, finished my field. I came from the ship. I finished my last contract, and then I gave my first lesson in that theater, Calvaria, about the depth trap, Croatian depth trap. Back then, this was my diploma work. So 10 years after that, I am kind of a refugee in Cambodia. Almost penniless, and I have like 4 years behind me of sensing Illuminati. Not perfectly though, really. Nothing is perfect apart from the God. And so, cognitive dissonance. This was the very first thing which I noticed when I was dealing with the thing. Back in the day, I was talking a lot about that with my friend Daniela. She was about to finish psychology, and we both had an issue with the whole thing. For us, it was heavy. Okay, we've been researching for a number of years, organizing lectures and blah blah blah, and then we came to the point when it really became heavy and depressive. I mean, you're living your daily life. Sometimes you work, sometimes you don't. But you're always aware of the bullshit, and you see the lights, you see the chemtrails, you know the whole thing. Because you research, it's not really that big science to find what Illuminati are planning to do, because what they want us to know, they tell us, absolutely. And then you see everything how it's fitting into this, They wrote the population on the wall on the Georgia stones, and now everything is happening. So it's difficult to live with this, right? Of this feeling of danger coming in and imminent death. So, first thing I'm going to talk about cognitive dissonance, and then after that I'm going to talk about the ego, the self, and the pain and the fear of death. So, first things first, cognitive dissonance is something very easy to research, to find on the net. It's simply, you have a dissonant behavior. Cognitively, this frontal lobe, right? Okay? This part, right? We are always coming to this part. Knows, for example, that smoking is bad. You know smoking is bad, but emotional part of you likes to smoke, so you smoke, you enjoy smoking, but you feel bad because you know it's bad for you, talking about cigarettes, and then you have a cognitive dissonance, right? You know something should be done, you should correct your behavior, but emotionally you can't do it, and that is causing a problem. So, cognitive dissonance is also what Winston Churchill said, that all people once in a life at least stumble upon the truth, fall down, but most of folks decide to get up, clear their dust, and just continue walking. So we are talking about that. We are the people who are not most of the people. We stumbled upon the truth, we crashed down, we've been bruised, we got up, and then we started to look at the truth, and somebody hit us in the butt and said, move along, and you moved along, but, you noticed something, right? And so how to deal with that? That leads simply to the ego and to the emotions. in previous videos, I was explaining about the things which are influencing the emotions, the traumas and the etheric implants in your biofield, in your aura, which are feeding on this and which are manipulating you. All aura cleaning and Dr. Corrado Malanga work is, part of the work is based on that. So now you have to deal with your own ego, which is basically telling you that that manipulated consciousness, which thinks that it's a body, which has no memory, which is programmed by the system. On top of that, it has cracks, like traumas, and it has like etheric implants, what people could call like a demons, genie, and so on, inside of it. And that consciousness is now trying to cope with the glimpse of reality, which cracked into its consciousness field, and of course it's now feeling reaction. This is only from inside. From outside you have a completely another arena. I put it very simple. Now we work, and then you discover the conspiracy, you talk about chemtrails, now you have suddenly coldness in the working environment, and after that hostility, and after that smearing campaign, and after that you're fired. Well, guess what? You are now in the category, when that happens, you are now in the category of targeted individuals. So we are now talking about the phase when you discover the truth, and you are moving into the phase of being targeted individual, or you already progressed to the level of promotion. Yeah, you've been promoted, now you're targeted. So, how to deal not with being targeted individuals? Sorry, I'm going too far because I was dealing with this in a previous video, which is going to be uploaded with this bunch. How to deal with your emotions internally. I would suggest you to go step by step. For me, when 2006-7 was hard, it was like a first complete year of research. 7 was hard, emotionally speaking. Then 8 was hard because being targeted individuals started slowly that year. Then 9, 10, and then I would say that maybe that question dealing with the death and the pain and everything, when you really go deep into the understanding the conspiracy, which means understanding evil, then you go, of course, into the meditations on your own death and possibilities and so on. That all led me to the Vipassana meditation and Buddhism, and that led me to the monastery, and monastery consequently, with all the meditation, in monastery happened that I developed the sensitivity to sense illuminati, because I was in monastery when I flew to Amsterdam on my way home, and then finally to cleaning my aura and integrating the spirit, soul, and biofield. So, my best guess, if you came so far, would be the only way which worked for me, which was the hard way, which was first, to deal with this heaviness, you must integrate yourself. Second thing, to integrate yourself, you must purify yourself. When you integrate yourself, when you purify yourself, you're going to develop, your consciousness is going to develop direct link to the soul consciousness, and even to what you call God. However, I must say that what you filter from that conversation is what your dirty mind allows you. when you manage to develop that, you will manage to bypass the ego. When you manage to bypass the ego, you will develop the communication with your true self. Once you develop that, you will find that it's not only easier to live regarding the conspiracy, but it's far easier to live emotionally and mentally regarding anything. Okay? And this is my best answer on how to deal with the heaviness of the knowledge of the conspiracy, is not to go into the ego, which is worrying like what's going to happen to me, oh, we are all doomed, it's going to the new world order, and all that Jordan Maxwell discourse, which is very heavy, very depressive. Not to go into that discourse, but to go to the healthy inner discourse. This is nothing new I'm saying. Carl Jung, he was talking about the higher self. Psychology is talking about the healthy self. New Age is talking about the higher self. I'm talking about the soul. We are, talking about the same thing. Is to find the effective way how to communicate with your healthy inner self is the only good answer how to deal with the heaviness of conspiracy. Another good thing, I'll give you another tip, my dear friend, YouTube friend, although I don't know you, but if you like me, then we might be friends. And I would like to have friends. I met this way, dealing with this particular topic. Another thing is communicating, because once you start to communicate, and there is a big step. You see, it's like maybe leaving a closet. Okay. So I was inside, and now I'm telling the world, okay, this is what I can see. This is, of course, frightening moment, but in the same time, it's really liberating moment, because it's just incredible how many people you will connect and how many people want to contact you back, and the amount of positive feedback versus negative feedback is just, I don't know, like 20 to 1 or something, and or even more. And it's a great feeling when somebody says, okay, I learned so much from you, Kruno. Oh, wow, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for learning from me. It's really a great feeling. So this is the second feeling. This is the second thing which comes to that connection. So which is completely opposite feeling of that feeling of being close. Because in the first phase, when you start discovering the truth, first, of course, you're excited that you're learning stuff, but then you start feeling the fear and you start to feel isolated from other people. So it's very important, because they don't know the truth, you know the truth, you're a minority, therefore you're isolated, right? Statistical fact. And of course you're a minority because you have a soul, but also plays a role. So, that thing, again, shows you the truth that beings of light, us, we are everywhere. The truth is there, the energy is there. We are just communicating this way or that way, and nobody's really closed in the room, nobody's alone, and nobody's really that fragile. Not from inside. Deeply from the soul inside, no. Emotions are other things. And so I would say, second thing would be definitely, once you connect with yourself, is to connect with others. That would be the second thing dealing with the truth, or that heaviness of knowing it. Now, there is one thing in whole that story. Maybe it's not that important for you right now, but it's dealing with the fear of death and the whole thing of possibility of three things: poverty, sickness, and death, which I'm sure happened so many times for me before. And this is again thing, what can be helped in meditation with the connection is that understanding that if not this time, but then some other time, my soul will be free from the matrix. And the reason why I'm here is really learning to see how well are we behaving, what are we doing in the all levels of separation from the core, into the all levels of the depth, into the lie. How are we reacting on all possible situations? So we are here, and but we can also live. And that notion which came from there, from that contact, is for me so far the biggest medicine against the death fear, because I didn't really fear that much fear of death, of physical dying, because I died twice and it was beautiful. Once was a bit longer back in Rijeka. Very, very, I mean, the most beautiful movie in my life. The face from Raduga, long face, vibrant, beautiful feeling, lots of energy. So I didn't fear that, but I feared, of course, what's gonna happen to me. Again, the matrix, UFO, white light, holographic projections of a dead friend and family, wiping out my memory, recharging and putting into another body, into another container, doing the same battery thing again. So I was afraid of that, doing that endlessly mechanic thing again and again. And but this thing moved it out. So these three things, first one would be to understand cognitive dissonance and to connect with your true self and to purify. Second thing would be now when you connect with yourself and you see more to communicate that with others, to help others, because I'm sure we all, of course, learn so much from others. When I was in a big pain back in 2009, I contacted James Barkley, and he gave me in a few emails a couple of good advices and so on. So, you know, that thing. And the third thing is even more to deepen that spiritually. So again, to summarize all these things, how to deal with the heaviness of knowing is to connect with your heart, is to connect with your soul, and to seek guidance from there, what works best for you in your particular case. So again, if you have questions, please ask. Please understand that I might take a long time to understand, to write back. I don't have a computer now and internet, and I kind of really live in a very remote province in Cambodia, and I mean, energy is good here. This is the best part, really. So, and this is the thing, yeah. This is the thing, that intuitive part led me from Phnom Penh here, and I was, before that, years I've been living in a big cities, and I was hit by the microwaves. And this is the very first area, Tawang, in this place, where nothing is going on. It's amazing. Still wondering, actually. Okay, that's it. No more talking, no more taking your time. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.